how is it that Gemini, Google's own AI, is so useful in so many situations to so many people, but as soon as I try to use it, especially the part that's actually in the Google search, it is absolutely worthless. It is somehow even worse than the Google searches themselves. I don't understand what's going on. Let me paint a picture for you. As you can see, I'm a bit of a bigger guy, trying to exercise a little more. I used to play a lot of DDR when I was a kid, so I figure maybe I'd get one of those old dance pads up and going. Just some exercise. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need any crazy shit. So I get one of those old dance pads. I even got the actual original PS2 version, because I heard that some of the newer ones are a lot lower quality for some reason. So I figure, why not get an adapter, plug it in, call it a day. Problem: I can't use the opposite-ended arrow keys. I don't know why I can't use the opposite-ended arrow keys. Apparently, they hard-coded in the adapter that you can't actually do them at the same time. Why would I want that? Why would I want to be able to do that in a TDR game? Why would I want to dance and hit the opposite buttons? That's never a thing we ever have to do in that. I have some microcontrollers laying around. I have some teensy 4.1s. Try to get that in there. Hello, focus. Hello, thank you. Got the old teensy 4.1s. Just straight up. First idea. Just intercept where it's connected on the main board. Plug it right in. Issue with that, of course, is that it uses carbon for its contacts, which basically they just had the carbon sticking on this carbon with like a little spongy thing. So the moment that I tried to go in and start moving around, it immediately fucked up the connection. So I eventually settled on the idea of taking some adhesive copper tape, right? And just really smushing it on to the carbon strips so that it adheres and carries a signal. And then I ran that across and then attached a couple of these bad boys that I had laying around in the most jerry-rigged thing you've ever seen. Look, it's not jank if it works, okay? And it works. The only reason I'm not showing you is because I don't want to bother opening that thing up, which is the same reason why I haven't finished this project that I'm gonna get into where I stopped. So I did all that, wired it all up, got it attached to this. It's all going great, okay? Now it just uses the old connection on this bad boy, wired up to my computer. But while I already have everything out, I'm like, what if I could get this thing to just use Bluetooth? There wasn't very much code involved in just assigning these pinouts to like the signal of the buttons. It's very simple. So I do what I always do anytime I don't know where to go from here. I've never attached Bluetooth to things before. I usually don't need my controllers to do anything aside from what it's doing in a stationary position. I don't expect to ever have to like move around or, dance on it. So I look up on Google, try to find a good Bluetooth adapter for this, something I could just plug into here, a few extra lines of code, call it a day. The actual answer is that is a fool's errand. Would be better to get something like this. Basically the same thing as the other one, except it actually has Bluetooth already on it. So could have just wired it up to this. Now I didn't have this at the time. I only had one of these. So I was thinking, make do with what I got. But how did I figure this out? Did I figure that out from the Google search? Fuck no. Fuck no, I don't. I don't even know why it's just pure habit. I don't know why I keep even going to Google. It lets me down every single time. The search lets me down and has let me down for like 15 years. Don't know why I still use it. Maybe it's because everything else just is worse. But now they put the AI stuff right front and center. And you know what it tells me to do? It tells me to grab one of these bad boys. Just get an adapter. Just plug it in. And then manually wire those cables over here to the USB section. And it'll just work. Now, If you don't know much about how any of this works, you might not know that these little guys only do what I say it to do. If it's not a function that comes with it, and it's not something I program in, it can't do it. This isn't a Raspberry Pi where you can just load up a different operating system and then let the operating system take care of it all. No, you have to do everything on here manually. So when Google straight face looks at me and like, oh yeah, just put in a dongle and just wire it up, I don't understand. Even if that did work, which it doesn't, why would I want to use a USB dongle for a project that I'm already soldering everything and rigging everything up to work fine? Why would I want to introduce extra cords and stuff within the housing of the project? Do you think I just want things to be able to just like move around and rack around and eventually unplug, so I have to unscrew the entire fucking thing in order to fix it? No. I want this actually attached. That's why I have the soldering. That's why I have the soldering ironed out. I want it to not move. I want it to be fixed there. I'm just asking so I can just solder something on so I don't have to deal with it later. Is that too much to ask? If that's too much of a pain in the ass, why don't you just say that? Why don't you just tell me to just use a different chip? Like, imagine if I asked how to add battery power, because I'll need to add battery power to it if I'm going to use Bluetooth, otherwise it's still wired, at least wired to something. And then it was just like, yeah, just a little micro USB on here, just plug that and just like tape a power bank on it and just run the wire in. So it's, what the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? Why? No, I want a dedicated rechargeable battery pack, and so that I could hook it up to a little power module like this, hook up the 3.3 to the 3.3 volt. It's called it a day. Like, I don't understand why would I want to just tape a power bank? Why would I want to just attach a dongle to something that I'm already rewiring? I don't. No, I understand. If I'm going through all this effort, why not just skip the pad and just make a dedicated actual dance pad with actual inputs that like I could tell that I'm hitting the mat and hitting the button instead of the mat that I'm currently using? I'm not going to spend all this fucking money on something that I don't even know if I'm going to use. That's the whole point of this. I'm using things that I have laying around. Like, am I crazy? Am I the weird one? Who's going through all of the effort of ripping out all of the internals of one of these old pads, resoldering, rewiring everything, and then halfway through being like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take some fully developed, fully priced consumer products that are not made for this use case and are completely unnecessary, and then just like get a bunch of USB cables and wire it all together like that and slap it inside. Who if I was going to do that, I would just buy a better dongle. I would just buy something else. That's not the point. That's not the point. And then I just go to Perplexity. I always use Perplexity anytime I want to actually get something done because it gives me answers. It doesn't lie to me. At least not very often, and it'll tell me if my idea is stupid and I should just do something else. Like, it's what told me, it's like, no, this is not a good idea. You should just unsolder those and get a better dedicated chip. It's like the teensies aren't really made to do that. You should just use a different one. I'm like, thank you. If Google had said that, I'd have had no problem. Because that's the answer to what I'm trying to do. That's the answer to my fucking question. I don't understand why you're just going to just tell me some blatantly false shit that both doesn't match what I'm trying to do and doesn't actually like work. I don't understand. Now, as you can see, I have what I would need to actually do what I wanted to do, and I clearly have not wired them up yet. That's because I had to order these. They're not that expensive, but I, in the meantime, just hooked up what I had so that it was, fully wired and just is USB capable now, and I just haven't bothered unscrewing it since. I really should do that. If anything, just to finish the project. Let me know if I should actually like go through and finish this. Maybe I can actually record part of the process for anyone who cares at all about putting Bluetooth on something that is made for a PlayStation 2. I don't know if that's anyone cares about that. Just let me know. Tell me what's going on. Tell me your crazy ass stories. Okay, bye.